What's going on, everybody? Plasma Therapist here, and in today's video we're going over another mental health topic that Gundam and other plastic model kits can help with. Now, as a reminder, these videos aren't meant to replace professional psychological help, but to show you how our hobbies and the things that we love to do can help with the daily management of these conditions. With that said, let's get into today's topic, which is going to be covering depression. Now, when it comes to addressing mental health issues, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Different people display varying levels of affliction, and the underlying root causes can be just as complex as the individual person. Because of this, psychologists have developed many differing theories around the causes and treatments of our conditions. So in today's video, I want to use these schools of thought as we discuss Gunpla and depression to give you guys a more in-depth look behind how psychologists could approach and address this condition, starting with our first approach, neuropsychology. Neuropsychology is one of the many theoretical perspectives within psychology. Given its strong foundation in biology, neuropsychology explains psychological problems as illnesses stemming from either brain damage or chemical imbalances. In terms of depression, neuropsychologists have linked low levels of serotonin with depressive symptoms, and since neuropsychology is tied to biology, treatment tends to follow a biological approach. In essence, this means medication. So how can Gunpla and plastic model kits treat chemical imbalances in our brain? It's by focusing on enjoying the process of building that we use when we build Gunpla. Now, just like I mentioned in my last video, engaging in an activity we enjoy, such as Gunpla, triggers the release of chemicals such as oxytocin and removes chemicals like cortisol and other neurotoxins. Furthermore, these changes also help stimulate the natural production of serotonin, and this can help make the body more receptive to medication. With an effective combination of stimulation and medication, patients can begin to regain control of the depression and enjoy a rewarding hobby in the process. The second therapeutic approach to depression is actually a combination of two theoretical perspectives within psychology, and this is the cognitive behavioral therapy, using the cognitive and the behavioral perspectives. In this type of therapy, the cognitive component addresses our thoughts and our beliefs, and the behavior component addresses the things that we do, in essence, our behaviors. Cognitive behavioral therapists explain depression as a condition where a person's thoughts and actions trap them in a negative feedback loop. It can start with a thought or a feeling of worthlessness, and as that worthlessness feelings take over, that person starts to feel like not doing anything. Then, because they didn't do anything, their brain reinforces the idea of worthlessness after not having done anything, and the cycle repeats. By throwing Gunpla or plastic model kits into the mix, we are trying to break the cycle by disrupting negative thoughts and changing these negative behaviors. As a person builds a kit, they are breaking the negative behavior of not doing anything. This then challenges the thoughts of worthlessness as the person then sees that they are able to do something. And once that initial thought is broken, the person can expand on it. If I'm capable of this, what else am I capable of? Their thoughts then drive more behaviors to achieve something they now believe is possible instead of engaging in that negative feedback loop. A growth mindset is now developed and is set in to replace that negative feedback loop, and now a person can challenge the negativity associated with depression. And this is how cognitive behavioral therapists address depression. Now, I know this topic is heavier than usual, but I saved this perspective for last, and it's the humanistic perspective. Humanistic psychologists believe that there is an inherent good in everyone, and that depression is the result of an unfulfilled existence. Now, this is hardly the scientific perspectives as we mentioned earlier, but hear me out. In the humanistic perspective, we all have a full potential that we strive to reach. When we are not reaching that full potential, we may start to believe that we'll never get there, and that's where the depression sets in. But this is where we need to apply the Gunpla, and this is where the Gunpla comes in. We create something out of nothing. We take a pile of plastic and we create this awesome, amazing robot out of it. We're not just going through the motions of life anymore, but we're using our free will to choose to do something we enjoy. We are creating, we are building, and we are adding good to this world. So even if it's just a small high grade, it shows that we have the potential to create something, and that potential is inherent in our drives to be happy. We deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. So go and build the kits that you love. Bash those pieces together, paint that base, do whatever you want, because you are free to do the things that you want. Because no one has a right to tell you what you can or can't do. Because no one has a right to tell you what does or doesn't make you happy. Now, before we wrap up today's video, I want to remind you guys that these videos aren't meant to replace professional help. If you or someone you know might need some professional psychological help, I highly recommend reaching out to the practicing professionals in your area. With that said, let's go ahead and wrap up today's video. Let me know what you guys thought of the psychological perspectives down below, and we'll see if we can include them in future videos if you guys really like them. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found some value in this content, and remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.